The soul speaks to the Uthras, my brothers, you Uthras who are sitting there. By your lives, you Uthras, my brothers, tell me where Hibbles's residence is. He beguiled me and introduced me to the body, then he left me and ascended to his place. Third piece. Heal you, soul, that you have left the world. You left the rot and the stinking body you were in, the space, the dwelling of the wicked, the place that is a pure sinner, the world of darkness, of hatred, jealousy, and discord, the apartment where the planets reside, which bring pain and infirmity. Pain will bring you an infirmity, and every day they cause unrest. Get up, soul, climb up to your original home. Climb up to your original home, to the place from which you were planted, to the place from which you were planted, to your good dwelling of the Uthras. Get excited, put on your robe of splendor, and lay on your flaunting wreath. Sit on your throne of splendor, which life has set up in the place of light. Climb up and live in the Shkintas between the Uthras, your brothers, as you are used to. Bless your original home, and curse this place, the house of your carers, because the years you've been in this, the 7 were your opponents were the 7, and the 12 were your persecutors. Life is held high and is victorious, and victorious is the man who went there. Sunday kushta and alms, you are witnesses of the soul, you are your witnesses, and take them past the custom officer's house. Fourth piece. Go in peace, chosen one, pure, sinless, without fail. You have chosen your place from the Tibble, and your lot has jumped out of the ages. Jumped out of the ages is your lot. You are above all the world. You said, chosen, pure, I am a seer, a discriminator. I am a seer, a discriminator, and the worlds gather for judgment. The worlds gather for judgment, and they are spoken rightly. Justice is spoken to you, who have not practiced the works of a true man. You alone chosen pure, you bright shining manna, you will not go to the court. You will not be spoken to right. You will not be spoken right. Since you have practiced the works of a true man, what they endure and tolerate you, chosen one, will not find it before you. Escape the violence, the planet, the ruler of this world. Put on your robe of splendor, and put on your flaunting wreath. Bend your body and bow and stretch down and praise the mighty life. Praise the place of life to which your fathers draw. You, chosen one, did not come from here, and not from here your planting is planted. Your place is the place of life. Your residence is the light residence. A throne of peace has been established for you. There is no anger or anger. You have been a belt at which there is no mistake. Good ones, climb up to the house of life. Go to the light residence, between the lamps of light. Let your lamps be lifted up and shine. Rise to your time and date, and look at the place of light. Life is held high and is victorious, and victorious is the man who went there. My enlightenment and my praise lead me over, who led you through the guard. Lead me over the cloud of light, and it will rise, victorious to the place of light. Fifth piece. Peace and quiet in the way that Adam built right, peace and quiet on the path that the soul walks. Go, soul, victorious, according to the place from which you were planted, after the place of joy where the face flaunts. The soul untied the chain, you blew up the gang. She took off the physical skirt, then she turned around, saw him, and shuddered. The voice of the soul of life is which separates from the body of garbage. The Redeemer who redeems the soul weeps that they will not let him, that he will solve them. The soul flies and moves there until she came to the gate of the house of life. When she came to the gate of the house of life, do Uthras go to meet her and bless her. Come in peace, you noble born, who was a maid in the house of the wicked. Come in peace, you fragrant, which you made the smelly body fragrant. Come in peace, you pure heart, you pure pearl, which you were taken from the treasury of life. Come in peace, chosen, pure one, which you illuminated the dark house. The soul flies and moves there until she came to the gate of the house of life. When she came to the gate of the house of life, the guide comes to meet you. He carries a magnificent wreath in his hand, a robe on both arms. Be excited, soul, put on your robe and put on your flaunting wreath. Climb up, go to the Shkinta, the place where the Uthras sit. The place where the Uthras sit, and your brothers are housed in their Shkintas. Life held out its hand to her. It concluded communion with her. How the elect ones close them at the place of light. Life is held high and victorious is the man who went there. Sixth piece. Peace and quiet in the way that Adam built right. Peace and quiet on the path that the soul walks. Go, soul, victorious, according to the space from which you were planted, after the place of joy, where the face flaunts on him, the figure becomes luminous and does not darken. The soul untied the chain, she blew up the gang, she took off the physical skirt, then she turned around, saw him, and shuddered. The providers call her, the men who supply the soul, the providers call her, they provide for them and bless them. Come in peace, you light giver, which you enlightened the decrepit house. Come in peace, you fragrant, which you made the smelly body fragrant. Come in peace, you pearl, which you were taken from the treasury of life. Come in peace, you noble born, who is called a maid in the dwelling of the wicked. Come on, get excited, put on your robe, and put on your flaunting wreath. Tie your belt around, in which there is no pain and infirmity. Come, live in the Shkintas among the Uthras, your brothers. As they sit there, life is held high and is victorious, and victorious is the man who went there. Sing hymns and let the soul be heard, and their measure is full, and their course is directed in the place of life. Seventh piece. On the day when the soul goes out, on the day when the completed ascent, on the day when the soul goes out away from under the wheels of death, is dispute thrown in the tibble of impermanence. Ruha sits in mourning. The seven sit there in a stupor. The skirt of the stars is tattered. Dust is thrown on the head of the Ruha. The bells are crying. The vigilantes are terrified. The man who brought me here brought me a magnificent robe. He clothed me with a robe of splendor and covered me with a turban of light. He put a wreath of ether on me, and what else the great life granted to the Uthras, he lifted me up to the house of life, to the place where the border is. He raised me up among the Uthras. He placed me among the perfected. Life is held high and is victorious, and victorious is the man who went there. You have proven justice. I will come with you and guide you until the scales weigh works and wages. Eighth piece. On the day when the soul goes out, on the day when the completed ascents, on the day when the soul goes out, a quarrel is thrown into the tibble, a quarrel is thrown into the tibble, turmoil is thrown into them and unrest. They gathered, and the treasurers of this world, they speak. Who brought out the pearl? Who lit up the decrepit house? In the house she left, the walls burst and collapsed. Its walls cracked and collapsed, and the post of his gate fell to the earth. His windows were closed, and his lamps went out and did not shine. My eyes don't see what to do in the ages. My ears no longer hear what to say in the ages. My feet no longer stride in the ages, and not the soul speaks or goes there with her too, who is worthy of the light abode. They brought me naked into the world, and they took me empty out of her. They took me empty out of her like a bird that nothing accompanies. My salary payment precedes me. My charity donation follows me. The water waves. I hold in my hand and raise me up in the light abode. When the seven saw the soul, they put them back in the cut-off place, in the house that crushes her, but she would not be sweet. The customs officer up, they push her and try to throw her down, but she does not fall. They tear the robe at her neck, but she is clothed with the splendor of life. They ask you out, the dead, who did not watch life, with whose strength did you go out, and whose name is pronounced about you. I went out with the power of life, and the name of the chief of the brilliant beings is over me. I hold the water balance in my hand, and raise me up in the light abode. Life is held high and is victorious, and victorious is the man who went there. The soul stands on the paths and speaks to the Uthras. Don't you know, you Uthras, my brothers, that I have lived among you? Ninth piece. Between the hidden and the shining, between the revealed and the hidden places, there are the experts from the Father's house. The great ones, the wise ones, stand there and ask the soul out, who left the world. You speak to her. The good ones go there. Who shall endure the splendor of the good? Who shall endure the splendor of the good, who dampen their appearance? To this the soul responded and spoke among the great, the wise. The great ones who are of proven righteousness are not held back by the deception of this world. The poor and the young are not held back by the deception of this world. The children of the poor and the disciples are not held back by the deception of this world, but the but the Hasher, they are held back by the deception of this world, the nobles and the gentlemen. Leaving the world in your heartache, you acquire and leave it to your children. They go there and simmer in the fire. Soul, arm yourself with your wage donation, your works and your alms, because the way you have to go is far and endless. There are no miles measured on it, no waystones placed on it according to the measure. Watchdogs are left on it, and they stand by it. What things do you like? What things did you look like yesterday, soul? What things are you like today? Yesterday I resembled a tall building, which the builder artfully made. Today he collapsed and collapsed me. What things did you look like yesterday, soul? What things are you like today? Yesterday I drank, today my thoughts are full. Yesterday I swept and watered, today I climbed up to the heights. Yesterday I washed and combed myself, today my hair is combed together. Yesterday I resembled a rose on its stem, today it has dried up in its place. If you're sorry, soul, re-enter your hull, re-enter your hull, the physical body you were in. My brothers, don't tell me re-enter your hull. Re-enter your hull, the physical body you were in. My body is a predatory sea. The lamb robs and devours. He's an evil dragon. He has 7 heads. He has 7 heads. He is without mind and sense. If you feel sorry for him, soul, re-enter your hull. Re-enter your hull, the physical body you were in, because life remembered you in kindness. In kindness I remembered the life in you, and the Uthras of the light asked about you. They drove me out and closed the doors in front of me and blocked them. They blocked the 2 windows for me who record the speech of life. They put out the 2 lamps for me, the day and night glow. The great gate was blocked, the praise that praises life every day. The two scarps were broken who give wages and alms. They donate wages and alms. And Kushta and reached Kushta in a perfect way. The 2 pillars toppled and fell down. The solidity of the whole palace, the body has outwitted its master, and the whole house is filled with darkness. The soul flies and moves there only through the ether without fear. When the wicked heard it, they place them again in the cut-off place in the house. You speak to her. The customs officer, with whose strength did you go out, soul, and whose name is pronounced about you? She responds to him, I went out with the power of life, and the name of Mandadahaya is pronounced over me. Then you speak to her, O soul, you ascend to the house of life, you stand in court and win. When you go to the house of life, remember us before life. She responds to them, when I ascend to the house of life and move towards the light residence, when the great life asks me, when the mighty life asks me, when the great life asks me, there will be witnesses and witnesses. True witnesses are everything you say is true. I will do to you, you planets, that your eyes will not see light. Your eyes will not see light, and your feet will not find firmness. Me and the Uthras, my brothers, will ascend and look at the place of light, the place whose sun does not set, and whose light and lamp do not become dark. In that place your souls are called and changed. Life is held high and is victorious, and victorious is the man who went there. O gentle manna, O orderly, well-ordered manna, O gentle manna, many helpers come with you, until the scales weigh works and wages. I am the head of the knowledgeable among the elect. I am the head of the believers. From the very beginning I was drawn by the sign, and I went to the bank of the Jordan. From the very beginning I was drawn with the sign. The demons are on the streets. As soon as the 7 saw me, the 7 stood up and armed themselves. They speak. You're going out, man. Give us your head, and then go out. Man, give us your head. Maybe then you will come back to us. I give you my head. The sign is set up on my head. I give you my head, the sign is set up on my head. You're going out, man. Give us your eyes, and then go out. Man, give us your eyes, maybe then you will come back to us. I won't give you my eyes are full of light. From the very beginning I was drawn by the sign, and I went to the bank of the Jordan. The 7 saw me and armed themselves. All my enemies take to the streets. You're going out, man, give us your ears, and then go out. Man, give us your ears, maybe then you will come back to us. I won't give you my ears hear hymns. You're going out, man, give us your mouth, and then go out. Man, give us your mouth. Maybe then you will come back to us. My mouth I will not give you. My mouth is full of kushta. You're going out, man, give us your hands and then go out. Man, give us your hands, maybe then you will come back to us. I will not give you my hands give alms, giving alms to my hands, and they are enough for kushta. You're going out, man, give us your heart, and then go out. Man, give us your heart, maybe then you will come back to us. I won't give you my heart, in my heart dwells the knowledge. You're going out, man, give us your knees, and then go out, man, give us your knees, maybe then you will come back to us. I won't give you my knees bend before life. You're going out, man, give us your feet, and then go out. Man, give us your feet, maybe then you will come back to us. I won't give you my feet walk the paths of the kushta, the paths of the kushta walk my feet, from the place of darkness to the place of light. On the paths of kushta and faith you will ascend and see the place of light. You were victorious, Manda Dahaya, and help all your friends to victory, and life is victorious. The manna rejoices in the treasures and the illumination of life that rests on him. I acknowledge you, man of tried righteousness, for you have freed my soul from sinners. 11th piece. Be remembered in kindness of the great life. In kindness let the thought of the mighty life be remembered. Be remembered in kindness of the great life that saved me and took me out of the world, from the world of lack and from the vain works. It created me and clothed me with splendor. How the chosen men dress with it. With this the chosen men dress, the true believers. I stuck my head in, then I became equal to the fullness of the world. Then I opened my eyes in it, then my eyes became full of light. I swung my wings in it, then they formed wings of splendor for me. Wings of brilliance were formed for me, and the other structures are good and luminous. I sing hymns and go to all souls. Then they saw me, they gathered and went to meet me. They gathered and went to meet me, and everyone greeted me. They speak, Son of good, talk to your father. When will the prisoners be released? When will the prisoners be released, and will it be far for those who are confined to narrowness? Before I speak to my father, I want to tell you, all those who did ugly works, stay sitting here in the blocks of feet until the Euphrates dries up at the mouth and the Tigris has misplaced its course, until all the seas dry up and all the rivers and streams and springs pour out. Then the one who is thrown into the well will ascend, and he who is bound with the shackle will become free. It will be far from the souls who live there in the house of suffering. It will be far from the noble who used to own and now have nothing. It will be far for the widows to endure the tribulation in the Tibble. They endure tribulation in the Tibble, then they shall be redeemed from the hand of the seven. From the hand of the seven they shall be redeemed. It will be wide for those who are cramped. Life is held high and is victorious, and victorious is the man who went here. I wish to go with the two Uthras who came to me. I'm afraid I'll have to go with the guards who camp by the wayside. Why are you afraid, soul, where the Uthras accompany you? 12th piece. How happy I am, how happy my heart is, how very pleased I am. On the day when my dispute will be settled, on the day when my dispute will be settled, and my walk to the place of life is, I fly and move there until I get to the watch house of the sun. I am calling, who will lead me past the watch house of the sun? Your wage donation and your works, your alms and your charity will lead you past the watch house of the sun. How very pleased I am, how happy my heart is, how very pleased I am. On the day when my dispute will be settled, on the day when my dispute will be settled and my walk to the place of life is, I fly and move there until I get to the watch house of the moon. I am calling, who will lead me past the watch house of the moon? Your wage donation and your works, your alms and your charity, they will lead you past the watch house of the moon. How very pleased I am, how happy my heart is, how very pleased I am. On the day when my dispute will be settled, on the day when my dispute will be settled and my walk to the place of life is, I fly and move there until I get to the watch house of the fire. I am calling, who will lead me past the watch house of the fire? Your wage donation and your works, your alms and your charity, they will lead you past the watch house of the fire. How very pleased I am, how happy my heart is, how very pleased I am, on the day when my dispute will be settled, on the day when my dispute will be settled and my walk to the place of life is. I fly and move there until I get to the watch house of the seven. I am calling, who will lead me past the watch house of the seven? Your wage donation and your works, your alms and your charity, they will lead you past the watch house of the seven. How very pleased I am, how happy my heart is, how very pleased I am, on the day when my dispute will be settled. On the day when my dispute will be settled and my walk to the place of life is. I fly and move there until I come to the guardhouse of the Ruha. I am calling. Who will lead me past the guardhouse of the Ruha? Your wage donation and your works, your alms and your charity, they will lead you past the guardhouse of the Ruha. How very pleased I am, how happy my heart is, how very pleased I am, on the day when my dispute will be settled, on the day when my dispute will be settled and my walk to the place of life is. I fly and move there until I get to the water streams. When I arrived at the streams of water, the outlaw of Gloss came to meet me. He grabbed me by the area of my right and led me over the streams of water. They brought shine and clothed me with it, brought light and covered me with it. Life supported life, life found its own, his own found life, and my soul, that of his ascension, found what it, life, is held high and is victorious. My hope is in, and victory is in the man who went here. Son of good, show me the way you came and the ascent on which your father ascended to the place of light. 13th piece. The hope of good came to me, for they say, thou shalt go out. Then the hope came to me again, for they say, thou shalt go there. Send to my brothers and tell them that they may come and pray for me. How good are my brothers, that they came of their own accord. My brothers in your life, O good ones, by all your souls, when you see something ugly, do not let go of your burden. If you see something ugly again, do not let up, but do the rest. For he who is loaded ascends. Those who are empty are cut off here. I am full and I am climbing up. My works and my wage donation precede me, and I rely on my well-being. My soul, why does it grieve you that you're leaving the house? The house falls to destruction, and the legal dispute of the prisoners is to be settled. The house of the planets is to be fortified, and the works of their hands shall pass away. I fly and move there until I get to the planets. At the gates of the planets stand there and whisper. Why are you whispering, you seven? I am not one of you. I fly and move there until I get to the house of life. How to get to the house of life? Life is coming to me. It brought out shine and clothed me with it. It brought light and covered me with it. It included me in its bill, and the good placed me in its midst. My light prepared the pita, and my mind stood up and praised life. Will you find a good? So approach him. Do you find an evil? So stay away from him. Between the lamps of light your lamps will be lifted up and shine. You have been raised and strengthened through the word of truth that has come to you. The word of truth has come to the good, the true word to the believers. To the place that is all life are your souls called and charged, and life is victorious. The good ones go there, the dispute of the elect is settled. The good ones go there, who shall endure the splendor of the good? 14th piece. When the darkness made plans, Adam left his body. Adam left his body in splendor and light. The soul was recovered. The soul was recovered in splendor and light, and the heart of the Ruha darkened. Ruha speaks. The soul has ascended to the house of life. As long as the soul was in the world of the wicked, all the darkness sat in distress. In distress sat the whole darkness, and Ruha covered her head. She spoke, Woe to me that I knew nothing of their treasures which I coveted. I want to do to the soul that I will plunge them into the tortures of the earth. Into the tortures of the earth I will plunge them, and stand back at the gates of darkness. I will restrain them at the gates of darkness and shackles in the guardhouses. We want to make the whole tribe contemptible with us, towards darkness. Her voice penetrated to the house of the great life. When the great life heard this, he sent a messenger of light. The great spoke to Hibbelziwa, good Uthra of lovely name, deliver Adam from the darkness and lift him up here. I dressed myself with splendor from my place and came out of my place. I took Adam out of the world of evil and led him past every ugly structure. I darkened the light of the wicked and broke all their guardhouses. Ruha Kadusha comes and finds the body of Adam as it is without a soul. Ruha complains and beats herself, and calls the Astartes who were with her. She speaks to the Liliths and the Astartes Astartes, come on, we want to complain and cry, let the Astartes shout. Then the strange man did this, while I knew nothing of their treasures. I took Adam past every ugly thing, and got in front of the Shkinta of the Tahil. When I arrived at the Shkinta of the Tahil, Tahil rose from his throne. Tahil rose from his throne and prayed with a bow before life. He prayed with a bow to life and handed Kushta to the soul. He handed Kushta to the soul and spoke to her, Your measure is full, soul, and you left the world of the wicked. Then she spoke to him, Sit down, simple-minded Uthra, who does not understand anything in the Tibble. Tahil sat down in his throne, and I came before the Shkinta of Abathur. Abathur rose from his throne and prayed with a bow before life. He prayed with a bow to life and handed Kushta to the soul. He handed the soul Kushta, then I led them past Yoshamin. When Yoshamin saw the soul, he rose from his throne. Yoshamin rose from his throne and prayed with a bow before life. He prayed with a bow to life and handed Kushta to the soul. He handed the soul Kushta, then I led them past Anush Uthra. When Anush Uthra saw the soul, he prayed with a bow to life. He prayed with a bow to life and handed Kushta to the soul. He handed the soul Kushta. Then I led them past the sons of salvation. When the sons of salvation saw the soul, they prayed with a bow to life. They prayed with a bow to life and handed Kushta to the soul. They submitted to the soul Kushta. Then I introduced her to life. When life saw me, it won me love. The Uthras of light rejoiced in me, and life blessed me, and Manda Dahaya was grateful to me. You speak to her, Blessed be you, soul, and blessed be the man who redeemed you and lifted you up, and to him they spoke. You brought the soul here, you brought it here, and you were a helper to her. He created her shine in his place and clothed them with his own robe. With his own robe he clothed them, and he placed her on the throne which he established for her. He created her shine in his place, and she clothed herself with his robe. With his robe she clothed herself, and he sat down on the throne which he built for her. When she sat down on the throne that he erected to her, there she hopped in radiance and light. As she hopped in radiance and light, then she jumped up and rose from her throne. She jumped up and rose from her throne and prayed with a bow before life. She prayed with a bow to life and extolled the great life. She praised Manda Dahaya, who redeemed them and brought them up. Here the soul praises and says, On this ascension on which I will ascend and have risen, let the true, faithful, and excellent Nazorians, as well as the perfect women, ascend when they get out of their bodies and separate. Life is held high and is victorious, and victorious is the man who went here. I saw my robe and my wreath, then my soul felt equipped for the place of light. 15th piece. My measure is full, and I move out. The Spirit speaks to me, Soul, if you're moving out, why are you sorry? If you're sorry, why are you moving out? If I move out, that's how the demons stand there. If I turn back, my number is full. Where is the life I loved? Where is the life that loves me? Where is the man of proven justice, in whose name I donated alms? Where is Manda Dahaya, in whose name did I go to Jordan? Where are you going, Lord of the Kushta, where the demons surround my body? The demons surround my body, and the seven stand there and think about evil. The seven senses against me and make secret plans against me. They speak, when he walks away from us, let's tie him up in the customs house. If he calls, who will answer him, and who will be a savior to him? Who will be a savior to him when he is tied up in the house of the tax collectors? A quake arose on the spot in this world. An Uthra was sent to me, a man who is outstanding in the world. A great Uthra was sent to me, a man who is supposed to be a helper for me. He shall be a helper to the men which strengthen the tribe. He broke their guard houses and made a breach in their castle. He made a breach in their castle, and the seven fled away from his path. He shone bright and clothed me with it, with the brightness, and got me out of the world with swagger. The seven with their demons and Hamarthas were sitting there grieving. Everyone is sitting there and grieving, the man who came from the Tibble to the man who sprang from the Tibble, and a breach was made in their castle. He made a breach in their castle, and they took him out of the world with pomp. When the seven saw this, did they see themselves as inferior? They turned back and sat down by their way. But the elect and the Uthras rose with their praise and looked at the place of light. Life is held high and is victorious, and victorious victorious is the man who went there. The soul saw the glory, she stands at her place of origin, and rejoices. 16th piece. The soul is the fruit of life, blooms and blooms. She blooms and blooms. The Uthras stepped up and asked her out. When you were in the Tibble, in the decrepit house, when you were among the seven, the sons of the empty dwelling, what did the seven do to you when you were among them? She responds to them, they called me a slave who has no master, and every day they took me to court. They turned the court against me, they pursed their lips against me. They called me a slave who has no master and no mistress. Everyone who reaches him beats him, everyone who meets him angers him, and everyone who comes to him despises him. They called me a river without a transition, which has lifted and is clogged at the mouth. He has lifted and is clogged at the mouth, and the planets about him die of thirst and die of thirst. They called me a prisoner without a place of residence, who has no father. He has no father and no caregiver. I was hurt and sorry that I had to hope for my helper for so long. I had to hope for my helper, the man who made me hear his voice, that he may come and rid me of the wicked, rid me of the sinners, that he may set me free from the birds that let go of the hearers, who are used to anger in the Tibble, that he may free me from the watchmen and from the judges who make a wrong judgment. I said to myself, when I come out from the desert wasteland, I said to myself, when will I get out of her and look at the place of light? How I stand in my place, I saw my helper, I saw the gentle Uthra, the man who made me hear his voice. He screamed and let me hear his voice and put my heart on his support. When I saw my father the Uthra, the man who is a helper to me, when I saw my father the Uthra, I am the light of the world. He talked and talked to the sons of the void dwelling. I am a slave whose master is one. There is no noble who is like me. I have an Uthra for my father. I have a nurse. I have a judge for my father, who makes my case with my persecutors. I have a lord of plants, who seals his plants with water. The plants are there, they whisper and talk. With whose power is he standing there, that his mind is so firmly supported by him? Who is his lord? Who is his helper? Who is the judge who settles his case with his persecutors? I replied to the seven who have condemned themselves, the slave of the stranger I am, the man who strengthens his friends. I am the slave of the stranger, the man who is a helper. A helper is he, the man, and he strengthens his tribe. Life is held high and is victorious, and victorious is the man who went here. When I was among you, do not worry about me. Now I want to go there. What do I have in common with you? 17th piece. The voice of the soul of life I hear, who weeps from the body of garbage. She speaks, they brought me naked into the world, and they took me out of her empty. When I was empty, they took me out of her, like a bird that nothing accompanies. The voice of the soul is who whines and cries in her place. She speaks, what should I do with you, my body? Start in that world. If you, my body, were a garment of splendor and light, that's how I attracted you. And you ascended with me to the house of life. If you were shining and bright, so you would be tied around my hips, and you ascended with me to the house of life. If you were a wreath of shining and light, so you would be placed upon my head, and you would ascend with me to the house of life. If you were a rod of shining and light, that's how I would hold you in my hand, and you would ascend with me to the house of life. Would you be sandals of shining and light? I would have put you on my feet, and you would have ascended with me to the house of life. So the soul spoke, and the body did not accompany her. The voice of the messenger of life I hear, who calls to the soul of life. Come, come, you light giver, which you illuminated the dark house. Come on, you fragrant one, which you made the smelly body fragrant. Come, come, you noble-born, who is called a maid in the dwelling of the wicked. The soul turns around and looks, according to the body, and the palace from which they were taken. She speaks to the body, if you weren't a body, formed from a lump of clay, from a lump of clay you are formed, and the seven who pursued you remained standing as inferior. The seven who persecuted you stopped as inferior within this world. Life is held high and is victorious, and victorious is the man who went here. The soul is on the way, and they go to the truthful one. She speaks to you. Come, eat and drink, you good ones. I will be with you. 18th piece. Although still young, my measure became full. Although still young, my exit took place. Although still young, my measure became full, away from this world. If I go out, the demons are there. If I turn back, my number is full. How foolish are the eons. How simple are the ones, and how simple are the worlds, and how foolish are the eons who sit around me in sorrow. In sorrow for me they sit there and eat around me. To me they eat, and around me they lie on mats. They lie around me on mats, and tear their treasure around me. To me you tear up your sweetheart, and they shed tears for me. They shed tears for me, and they're tearing their hair out around me. Everyone who tears his dress around me will keep the flaw in his robe. Everyone who sheds tears for me will find seas and rivers in front of him. Anyone who pulls out their hair around me will be included. It will be included in the Finsterberg. My measure has become full, my time is coming, and I'm moving towards the place of light. Life is held high and is victorious, and victorious is the man who went here. When I was living in physical garb, my robe was not taken from me. Now that you got me out of it, my confidence is directed to life. 19th piece. At my height I stand, and my eyes are looking at the Tibble. I look and see the soul, how she cries, laments, and pours out in tears, and with her hair sweeping the streets. With her hair she sweeps the streets, and with her nails she digs up earth. With her nails she digs up earth, and she moistens the earth with her tears. She moistens the earth with her tears, and with her hands she assembles vaults. Vaults she puts together with her hands, so she stands there and performs the construction. She built it and cleaned it, then she climbed up and sat down on the ring wall. She took off the rose skirt and marveled at its beauty. She speaks to him, "Woe to you, body splendor! It is right that the worm of hell eats you. Woe to you, rose skirt, which the birds tear to pieces in the air." The soul sits there and waits. Maybe an escort is coming. Maybe an escort will come and I am going with them. The soul looks up and sees how to approach the escort of the evil ones. Darkness goes before them, darkness follows them, demons accompany you, Liliths are their guides. A mile and a half the sound of her crying penetrates. A mile and a half away penetrates the smell of their stench. When they came to the soul, they spoke to you of life's guiltless soul. What are your works, you wicked ones, that your travel allowance looks like this? To this they reply to her, our head penetrated into the earth with this world. Our eyes beckoned within this world. Our ears were listening at the doors within this world. Our hands committed murder within this world. Our heart was ambiguous within this world. Our body drove fornication within this world. Our knees bowed to the seven within this world. Our feet went barefoot within this world. Then he spoke to them, the innocent soul of life. If these are your works, you wicked, so your travel allowance is excellent. Go, go, you evil ones. I am not coming with you in your escort. The soul is sitting there. Maybe an escort is coming. Maybe an escort will come, and I will walk with you to the escort. The soul looks up and sees how the guidance of the good comes about. The shine goes before you. The light follows them. Uthras of life accompany you. Angels of glory are their guides. A mile and a half away penetrate their fragrance. Then he spoke to them, the innocent soul of life. If it pleases you, my good brothers, lead me with you in your escort. I want a company for the good, and to be a guide to the believers. They talk to her, what are your works, soul, that we may guide you with us in our guidance on the way? Then she speaks to you. My father disturbed bread, and my mother my father distributed bread, and my mother donated alms. My brothers sang hymns, and my sisters handed kushta. Then talk to her. Your father who distributed bread did it for him. Did it for your soul. Your mother who gave alms did it for your soul. Your brothers who sang hymns will ascend on the paths of the kushta. Your sisters who handed kushta, Mandadahaya, will be a helper. What are your works that you have done for yourself, that we may lead you with us in our escort? Then she replies to them, I want to say, my brothers, I want to tell you, true believing men, I want to tell you, my brothers, I want to tell you how it was, my brothers according to your will, my sisters by their own will, my brothers according to your will, made me the bride of the wicked. They made me the bride of the wicked, and do not give wages and alms. They do not grant wages and alms, therefore they are tied up in the darkness. But with me I loved life. Mandadahaya took a seat in the spirit. When the Saturday went out in the evening, when Sunday came for the good, I took alms in my pocket, took a piece of bread in my hand. I took alms in my pocket and went to the gate of the temple. I put the alms among the other alms, and the piece of bread for the common feeding for the poor. I found an orphan, so I sated her. I filled the widow's pocket. I found a naked, so I put a robe around his neck. I found a prisoner, so I untied him and sent him back to his place of residence. I untied him and sent him back to his native place, and provided him with food on the way. So they brought splendor and clothed them with it, brought light and covered them with it. They tied around her a large diadem of splendor, and they laid a wreath on her. They tied a belt around her, which is quite high and radiant. They laid her a transition across the seas, and put a dam through the rivers for her. They seized her by the surface of the right, and led them over the streams of water. Life turned life upside down. Life found its own. His own found life, and my soul, that of his ascension, found what it is, what life is, and is held high and victorious is the man who went here. The soul is on the way, and look out to their helper. I'll let my eyes look out for you. Lord, you are all grace. 20th piece. Between the hidden and the radiant, between the light and the uthras, between the hidden and the radiant, stand there and ask the soul out. They speak, say, soul, who educated you, who built you, who formed you, who was the man your creator. One built me, one formed me, one of them was the man, my creator, one of the sons of salvation, kindly took a part. He wrapped me in a wrap of radiance, and took and handed me over to Adam. Adam in his simplicity was ashamed since he did not know, and was ashamed since he did not know. Adam in his simplicity, and put me in the physical trunk. He took and put me in the physical trunk of wormwood, the bitter wort, and the soul sits there and protects the physical hostel which is entrusted to her. She sits there and protects her until their measure is fulfilled. When their measure and number was fulfilled, the solver went to her. The solver went to her and solved her. It led her away who had bound her, who had solved the soul, and preceded her. He who had bound her followed her. The soul ran and reached the one who had solved it. He who had bound her ran, but he did not reach her. The soul alone and its Redeemer go to the place of life, and life is victorious. What is it good for me that I came and lived in a deceptive, empty hull? What is it good for me that I came and lived in him where he does not ascend with me to the place of light? 21st piece. The soul goes out, your measure is full, and your time has come. Your measure is full, and your time has come, and she has her eye full of the solver. Full of the solver she has her eye, and her heart is full of weeping. Her heart is full of weeping, and the solver does not take a bribe. He does not accept a bribe, and does not trade the body for the soul. They released the soul and led it there. They were brought before the judge. The judge asks you out according to their sins and transgressions. What works have you, soul, done in the world of deception that you were in? You are my witness, judge, that I have not done evil for my own sake. I did not commit adultery, and did not act accordingly to the will of the wicked. I did not commit murder, and no blood of Adam's son was shed. My head did not penetrate the earth, and my hands did not commit theft. I have not done magic, and do not torment the soul of the body. I have not delivered the servant into the hand of his master. Don't put the maid in the hand of her mistress, nor have I given false testimony. I have not pushed boundaries. No boundary stones go crazy. My eyes have no sign, and my mouth did not produce a lie. The fortune tellers didn't tell me truth, and the deceitful Chaldeans did not tell me fortunes. I did not eat double alms, and did not worship two gentlemen. I gave alms to the poor, and I was a guide to the blind man. If I found a hungry one, I satisfied him, and filled the widow's pocket. I found a naked, and so I put a robe around his neck. I found a prisoner, and so I released him and sent him back to his place of residence. I united him, sent him back to his native place, and provided him with food on the way. With the sick man I went up to his camp. With the deceased I went to the cemetery. If these are your works, soul, so may your witnesses come and witness. When the soul was still standing before the judge, her witnesses flew up and came to her. The Jordan River and its two banks for the soul, the baptism with which she had been baptized, the Pita, the Kushta, and the Mambuha, witness to the soul, payment of wages and alms and baptism, witness to the soul. They grasped the soul by the surface of the right, they lifted them up and set them up in the house of perfection, in the place whose sun does not set, and in whose light lamps do not darken. Life is held high and is victorious, and victorious is the man who went there. In an old age you formed her wings, she jumped down and sat down in a cloud of splendor. 22nd piece. I will be redeemed, my treasure is full. I am redeemed, my number is full. I am saved, my treasure is full. When the soul strips the body, does the trunk keep its mouth shut and closed? The room shows solidification. The 7 planets surround my body and sit there. They speak to her, to the soul. When you go out, soul, let's get you in front of the customs officers. When I go out, so the demons are there. If I turn back, my number is full. Where I run, where is the greeting that my hands extended? Where are the sandals on my feet? Who am I left with? My friends. Where are you going, Lord of the Kushta? Why have the demons surrounded my body? The demons have surrounded my body, and the eyes color my head. I raised my eyes to the heights. With my soul I looked towards the house of life. I raised my eyes to the heights and saw the man, my helper. Help me, the soul cries. Help me before them and do not let me down. He helped me out of the middle of the 7, lifted me above the tax collectors, brought me up and straightened me in the house of the full life, and has held high and is victorious. And victorious is the man who went here. The manna rejoices and feels joy that Hibble-Ziwa is coming from the house of life to him. 23rd piece. A voice called from above and from the upper kingdoms, a voice called from on high, which spoke. The prisoners are to be freed, she said. Let the prisoners be free, and for those who are cramped, it will be a long way. I moved there and came until I got to their prison. When I arrived at her prison, the warden of the prisoners came to meet me. I talked and talked to the overseer of all the prisoners. What is the food and what is the drink of the prisoners? The food of the prisoners is wormwood, bitter herb, and the drink of the prisoners is black water and dirt. Then I spoke and spoke. The overseer of all prisoners, take pegs and keys and open the gate of the prison. Open the gate of the prison and release the prisoners who are locked up. Release the prisoners who are locked up. Let it be wide for those who are cramped. Then he speaks to me. How many should I let you out of 1,000? How many shall I let you out of 10,000? He opened the gate for me and put the sign on the document. He picks out the adulterers and thieves and leads them out to the gate of Sheol. He picks out the wizards and witches and leads them out to the gate of Sheol. He picks out the fortune-tellers and winkers and leads them out to the gate of Sheol. He seeks out those who push boundaries and move boundary stones and leads them out to the gate of Sheol. I went through the prison and did not find a true man. Then I spoke and spoke. The overseer of all prisoners, include the wicked because of their works, and pay attention to the souls, until the great will sit in judgment. Then the wicked will come and be tested. The prisoners sing hymns and rejoice. They have taken away the shackles. The prisoners are crying and howling, on which the shackles were left. They speak. We have heard you, my good man, that you, the people, do not go to the cut-off mountain. My sons, there is no cut-off mountain, and there is no one whom his Lord condemned to him. No, your relatives have condemned you who live in the deception of the world. They have no Mass for you. Not my memorial service, and the table of alms and Mass was not set up, and life is victorious. O gentle manna, O orderly, well-ordered manna, O gentle manna, may helpers come with you. 24th piece. At the gate of the prisoners I passed. My radiance rose above their prisoners. above their prisons. Over their prisons my glory rose, and they became fragrant due to my fragrance. My scent made them fragrant, and Sheol shone through my brilliance. The souls perceived it, then they cried and howled and poured out in tears. I called to the prison warden, open the gate to the souls. That's what he is talking about. How many should I let you out of 1,000? How many shall I let you out of 10,000? He opened the gate for me and put the sign on the document. He opened the gate for me and gave them the reward for their chains. He laid bread for the poor. He distributed guest meals to the persecuted. He assigned the reward for their chains, for their tables. The souls were singled out from the place of darkness to the place of life, and life is victorious. 25th piece. I have a soul in the Tibble, she is wrapped up in the world. She is wrapped up in the world, and Uthra step at her touch. At her touch step an Uthra, and shake her out of her sleep. Get up, soul, get up, look towards the house of life. Get up, look towards the house of life, and lift up your face to the place of light. Behold, the whole world is a thing without value. A thing without value is she, and does not deserve trust. Sees the great sea through which there is no transition, sees the Hitpun River through which no dam is laid, see the guardhouse standing by the rebel, see the fires whose smoke rises and reaches the firmament, see the double pits which Ruha dug on the way, see the high mountain on which no path is paved, see the wall, the iron wall which surrounds the world like a wreath. Like a wreath the world surrounds you, and no breach has been made in them. When you, soul, hear what I tell you, and do not contradict my speech, so you will be over this great sea, a transition will be laid. Through this river Hitpun a dam will be laid for you. I'll take you past the guardhouse, there the rebels stand. I'll take you past the fires whose smoke rises and reaches the firmament. I'll take you past the double pits which Ruha dug on the way. On this high mountain I will pave a way for you. In this wall, the iron wall, I will make a breach for you. I want to grasp you with all my strength and stretch you with my whole body. With all my strength I want to grasp you and lift you up to the place of light. And life is victorious. The chosen ones come from the earth, Tibble, so they come and are embraced by my vine. They come, they are wrapped in my vine, and climb up. Look at the place of light. 26th piece. Whose soul is this? Who is so built, well built? So built, well built it is. So true and faithful is she. So equipped, well equipped. She fears and is not afraid. She does not know fear and anxiety. She is not afraid of the tax collectors, nor in front of the wrong angels. They put an ether wreath on her head and took them out of the world. This soul flies and moves there until she came to the house of the tax collectors. When the chief tax collector saw the soul, he asked her out, with whose strength did you go out, soul, and whose name is pronounced about you? I went out with the power of life, and the name of Manda Dahaya is pronounced over me. With what should I compare you, soul? What will I compare in this world? I compare you to the sun of the day. I compare you to the moon of the night. I compare you to the northern air. When she regrets herself in the world, I compare you to the waves of water, when the northern air blows over you. The soul shone more than the sun of the day. It was brighter than the moon of the night. She was stronger than the northern air when she moves in the world. She was more pleasant than the waves of water when the north blows over you. The chief tax collector bowed his head, and the soul rose to him. Go, soul, climb up. Go, fly, and get there. Life is held high and is victorious, and victorious is the man who went there. How happy, happy I am, how happy my heart is, very pleased I am, on the day when my dispute will be settled, on the day when my dispute will be settled, and I walk to the place of life. 27th piece. A well-sealed letter is he who goes out to the world, a letter written with Kushta, sealed with the great seal ring. Perfect ones have written it. Faithful men secured him. They hung him around the neck of the soul and sent him to the gate of life. Where did it come from that Dayam saw, that the soul carried the letter? Where did it come from that Diam saw her, while her 7 sons were gathered around her? These speak. Who wrote the letter? Whose secret did we not know? The letter is written with Kushta, sealed with the seal ring Glover of the pious, perfect ones wrote it. Faithful men secured him. They hung him around the neck of the soul and sent him to the gate of life. The soul is in its wisdom and spread splendor over him and kept him safe, wrapped him in light and wrapped him. The 7 bowed their heads, and the soul descended on her. They put an ether wreath on her head and took them out of the world. The soul flies and moves there until she came to the streams of water. When she reached the streams of water, the great outpouring of splendor went to meet her. She seized them by the right side and led them over the streams of water. They set them up in their skinta at the place where the Uthras sit. Life supported life, life found its own, his own found life, and Barhayik carried out his own, and life is victorious. My enlightenment and my praise led me over. Who led you through the guard led me over the cloud of light, and it will rise victorious to the place of light. 28th piece. I excrete from my body, my time has come, and my measure is full. My measure is full, my time has come, and the excretion from my body is close. The guard is moving out in a hurry, the trunk beheld the mouth closed. The room showed solidification, the physical hull shook. The fiends pierced my heart. Who of the wicked told him, equip and set up angels on the way? You move out, you separated soul, they will bring you in before the judge. Your works and your deeds they will bring you in before the judge. Get up, go with him, with the King of the great life who has come to you. A path I am taking that is far and endless. Through the passage through which I pass does not penetrate any tax. The sun does not set over it, the lamps of light do not become dark. The men who are there, they lay on themselves flaunting wreaths. With a radiance they are clothed, a light is spread over all. They are the same size and take the measure of each other. When the good ones speak, your speech is one. Life is held high and is victorious, and victorious is the man who went there. Soul, go, get up with the King of the great life who has come to you. 29th piece. I was redeemed, my measure became full, the great life sent for me. I am talking to my sprouts and taught the great ones. To my sprouts I speak, to the great I have decrees. My rungs, I am leaving you. What will you, my rungs, do? I sat down in the shade of my vines, and my brightness went up over my vines. Over my vines my shine went up, and my vines spoke from their place. They speak and speak. You are separating from us, man. What are you giving up on us? Tell us about your name. A living speech, extended and endless. Tell us about the hidden speeches, and from the mixed manna, when does he go out? Tell us what the great life abandoned to him when he leaves the world. I want to tell you about the hidden speeches, and from the fixed manna, when he leaves here, the 7 are his opponents. To the house of Tahil, the 7 are opposed to the manna. When he comes out of the house of Tahil, Abathur welcomes him with his splendor and his light, and is illuminated. Because of its extended luster, fear comes over the second. The second rises from his throne and praises the mighty life. Blessed be you, mighty life, that you have sent me this helper. My rungs bowed their heads, they wailed and wept in their place. They spoke, you are separating from us, man. When will we see your place? When will we see your figure, which is now hidden from the world? To this he replied to them, if the great life would let me, I would grow up in the world with you. But now that the great one wanted me, the hidden perfect inflicted themselves on me. I was added to the hidden manas, and the glory that looms in the vine. The great life speaks to him and commissions him who sent him in kindness. It speaks to him, you man, to whom did you leave your sprouts, and who is the man to teach them? To which he replies to them, your strength will keep them, and your enlightenment will be a help to them, and life is victorious. The 30th piece. At the gate of the garden I passed. I heard the gardener's voice. I heard the gardener's voice. He cried and made the trees of the garden cry. Why are you crying, gardener, and make the trees of your garden cry? About that went away in your hands, or was the water in your canals inhibited? It didn't go away in my hands, still the water in my canals was inhibited. But in the evening, a cedar tree was uprooted from my garden. A cedar has been uprooted from my garden, a female cedar, torn out at the root. I cry for my companions and for the plants which he left with her. The cedar that is uprooted from your garden, she was uprooted by the man who planted her. The female cedar torn out at the root, it will be set up here with us. The good plants that have been left with you, they will rise and prosper well, and life is victorious. I am a great Mana. I am a Mana, a son of the mighty life. I am the great Mana who lived in the sea. I lived in the sea until they gave me wings, until they made me wings, until I became until I became winged and lifted my wings against to the place of light. 31st piece. At the gate of the prison the splendor of Sunday passed, the splendor of Sunday passed, and at the gate of the prisoners the light filled. When the souls saw the splendor and the light of Mandadahaya, they felt joy in their chains. When the jailer spoke to them who lived among them, which is my best day among the days, the day you felt joy in your chains, they talked about it to the prison warden, the prisoners, among whom he lived. Our best day among all days is as the splendor of Sunday passed. The splendor of Sunday passed, and at the gate of the prisoners the light filled. When we saw the splendor and light of Mandadahaya, we felt joy in our chains. Then I spoke to the prison warden who lived among them. You overseer of all prisoners, you prison overseer, let go of your souls and give them to me. Let go and give me the souls who are worthy and worthy of the place of light. Anyone who is marked with the sign of life and in the 4 Jordans. Then the jailer spoke to him who lived among them. Good one, your souls are numerous, endless, and countless. Search for them in your gentle sense, and speak with your noble voice. Speak with your noble voice, and seek out your souls and lead them there. Choose and lead your souls who are worthy and worthy of the place of light. Anyone who is marked with the sign of light and is baptized in the 4 Jordans. I researched in my gentle sense and spoke with my noble voice. With my noble voice I spoke and sought out my souls and led them there. I sought out and led my souls who are worthy and worthy of the place of light. Anyone who is marked with the sign of life and is baptized in the 4 Jordans. Then the jailer spoke to him who lived among them. Good man, you sought out your souls and led them there. Who will grant them relief from their chains? To this I replied and spoke, the overseer of all prisoners. In the world where these souls dwelt, that's where you get relief. Relief can be found there and gives bread to the poor. On the table you put the relief from their chains. Life is held high and is victorious, and victorious is the man who went there. I walk towards my image, and my image is coming toward me. It feels and hugs me. It is like I am coming back from captivity. 32nd piece. When will my measure be full? When will my dispute be resolved? When will I take off the physical garment and go to the places of life, according to the location of the house of the good, after the world in which my house stands? I want to go out and go to my Father's house, who will not return to my home here. I was hurt and sorry that I had to live in this world, where the life comes to me from the fruits. The shine answered me from a distance, from a place that is far and far away. I looked and recognized my Father. Life is held high and is victorious, and victorious is the man who went there. 33rd piece. What are the good things like when you leave your body? They are like nimble arrows, and who thus left this world? What things do the bad ones look like when they leave their body? They are like bees. When you leave your cane, you have delivered your honey. Then they went and lay down on the stony mountain. Life is held high and is victorious, and victorious is the man who went there. I want to ascend and speak Zuni, the great life, daily, every day. Send me voice and strength, the voice and power you send me. They will keep me awake so that I do not stumble. 34th piece. Whose soul is this who is so built and well built, so well built it is built, so equipped, well equipped, so well equipped she is equipped, so true and faithful she sits in a cloud of radiance, and angels provide her with a support. Uthras walk in front of her, Kushta paves the way for her. The soul moved through the prison, left the house of suffering. The soul goes and leaves until she gets to the customs house. The tax collectors call for the servant, according to the men who wait in Sheol. Take the whole weapon device with you and go halfway along the way. See whose soul this is which is so built, well built. So well built it is built, so equipped, well equipped. So well equipped she is equipped, so true and faithful.